So the ultimate reality is person.
Is person.
Absolutely correct. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so tell us, with this person manifests in various forms.
Right.
This person manifests as everything there is.
Right.
Because if this person is all there is, then whether it's this flower or bottle of water or something, there's no independent reality from this person.
Right.
So now explain how this person relates to, how do the deities that we worship relate to this person? And this is, I'm leading to the Sabarimala type issue also. Because I want to be able to go and tell those judges that they really ought to come and learn from those who have the source code and not try to figure out this bottom-up empirical data, because they borrowed all this knowledge from Europe.
Right.
They called it some secularism kind of a constitutional idea of courts and all that. And so therefore there is Christianity disguised into it, hidden into this framework.
Right.
Because to break out of that, you have to really go to the parampara.
Right.
So this parampara based knowledge of who is the deity is necessary in order for them to adjudicate a case on what is the right of this deity, why are they doing this, who can do it, why not. So tell me from the Bhagavatam point of view, who is the deity?
See, from the Bhagavatam point of view, once that cognizant, all cognizant supreme being, he is omnipotent, because everything is come from him, all energies come from him. When he is source of the energy, then he is all potent, all omnipotent also. So the omnipotent Lord, let me tell you about the categories of tattvas first. First there is this Vishnu tattva. Vishnu tattva is the category of truth which is eternal, the personalities who are eternal. In other words, that cognizant being, Vyasadeva says Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam, but that supreme being has capacity of unlimited expansions. See, just like Prabhupada says that we are sample gods. By understanding ourselves, you can understand what that person is. So, like for instance, if I have, let's say I am sitting in my office, I am talking with my subordinate, and he is my employee. So I have a relationship as an employer and employee. Suddenly, let's say a telephone call comes and I find at the other end, I find it's my wife. Immediately I load my husband personality into my consciousness. Then after my wife speaks for a few minutes, they'll say, "Hey, why don't you speak to your son? He wants to have a word." Then immediately I switch over to my personality as a father. Like this, I can have so many personalities, so many rasas I can have. Relationship, one person can have. But here in this case, in our case, sample God, we can have only one body. That omnipotent God, for each of these rasas, he will take one body. Advaitam Achyudam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham.
So, I want to make sure we are clear on this, so I want to understand better. So, tell me about the tattvas that are part of the absolute. These tattvas are part of the absolute?
Yeah, these are part of the absolute.
So, how many, is it finite tattvas, is it infinite tattvas, what are the major tattvas?
See, as per Bhagavatam, there is the infinite tattva is called Tripada Vibhuti of the Lord.
Okay.
3 quarters.
Okay.
This material world is called Ekapada Vibhuti. This is also opulence of the Lord. There unlimited Vishnus are there, unlimited Vaikuntha planets are there, they are all eternal.
So, there are unlimited personalities there.
Unlimited personalities. But yet, Advaitam, Achyuta, Advaitam, they are all non-different. Their one personality, enjoying capacity is unlimited.
So, there are unlimited tattvas.
Yes.
In the ultimate reality.
One tattva.
Yes.
Unlimited expansions. That is called Vishnu tattva.
So, one tattva, unlimited personalities?
Unlimited personalities. And there is a Amsha Tattva also, Jivas, who have rasa with Narayana. So that constitutes the spiritual world. Unlimited spiritual planets, each spiritual planet is predominated by a Narayana.
So the jivas are unlimited personalities?
Jivas are also unlimited
personalities. And the tattva of the Lord has unlimited personalities.
Unlimited personalities. Yet so, he is one.
So we have an infinity of personalities as one.
Yes.
And an infinity of jivas also
as infinity.
Also as part of this.
As part of that. Okay. It's emanated from him.
Okay.
So our Rupa Goswami says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that this Supreme Lord, all cognizant being, he has got, he expands himself as Swamsha, that means his own expansions, like I said, Narayana. Then he has Vibhinna Amshas. Vibhinna Amshas are all the Jivas. So we are the Jivas. So in that way, we have also come from God. To that extent, we are also God that way.
So we are beginningless. We are always there.
The soul is beginningless.
The jiva is beginningless.
Beginningless. We are eternal. This is what Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter itself. It tells Arjuna, there was never a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all this. We shall always exist in future. That means the soul never dies. Only the body dies. But we are eternal. So now let's come to the Ekapada Vibhuti.
Right.
The material world. Material world is, normally everybody, the common notion is it's illusion.
Right.
Right? Why? Because, it doesn't last forever.
It's impermanent.
Impermanent in the sense it undergoes through creation, maintenance and annihilation. And there also jivas are there. Now, among the jivas, powerful jivas become devas. Those who, in the material world, power is measured by punya. That is the law of karma. So those who have accumulated lot of punya, they take the position of devas. Devas are like people who are in power. Like, each deva is in charge of different departments. And
so, the deva who has accumulated punya can dispense of it, distribute it?
Can distribute it.
And therefore, somebody could do bhakti to the deva and get something.
Yes, exactly.
So, the deva is like a bank with a certain credit that you can get.
Yes.
You can apply and get something out.
Exactly.
But it is...
Just like I go to a donor, I ask him something.
But he's also, the donor is also like one of us, he's a billionaire, he accumulated something.
Exactly.
And I did not, so he might help me.
Exactly.
So deva is like one of us,
who
who ended up getting a better, in the free market system he did better than me.
Exactly.
That's what it is, right?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But it is his well-being, his welfare and his whatever he accumulates is finite. It will come to an end.
Antavantu phalam tesham.
Yeah.
It is all having an end.
The karma is finite, the phal is finite.
Phal is finite. That's why Krishna says that, see, alpamedasa, those who are less intelligent, they go to the devas because what they can give is not eternal life. But those who come to me, I can give them eternal life, I can take them to Vaikuntha. I can transfer their soul to Vaikuntha. But if you want to remain here in this chakra of mrityu, samsara, karmic chakra, you can remain here. That's one beautiful thing about the
entire... So the devas are within the karma system. They are
100% within the karma system. Devas are within the karma system. So now let's come to the deity.
Right.
So the Lord is omnipotent, and if I have a Krishna deity, there is a whole system which he has given in the Shastras, procedure, the Pancharatrika Vidhi or Agama process. The procedure is given in the Shastras. What all you have to do, of course, in addition to bhakti, See, bhakti is from the heart calling out the Lord, please come and, I want to serve you. Because what has happened is when we are embodied, we do not have that spiritual senses to see their spiritual form. We have jnana indriyas and karma indriyas. But normally we think karma indriya, jnana indriyas are gross senses. No, this is gross. Eyes doesn't see. Actually the soul sees through its jnana indriya, seeing, hearing, etc. The same eyes in a dead body doesn't see. So the soul has this faculty of sense of seeing, sense of touching, sense of smelling, etc. Now unfortunately my entire input system, jnana indriyas and karma indriya, are stuck in this body, that means in the gross world. So Lord is transcendental. He is of a different, as we said, different vibrations. His body is of Satchit Ananda. Sat means eternity. I told that it's an eternal form. It's Sat, Chit, full of knowledge. Ananda, full of bliss. So that is his form. I can see only a flesh form. Now the Lord says, look, okay, you cannot perceive me because you are conditioned now. But if you are ready, if you want to come to me, it's out of free will. That's one beautiful thing in our entire Vedanta. You have free will. You want to remain in this world, you can remain here forever. You want to come, you can come. So let's say a group of people are there who are devotees, who want to worship Krishna, who want to offer services to him. No, just because you are trapped in this body, I don't want to deprive you of that. I am omnipotent. I will come into the deity. As long as you have faith that I can come into the deity and become the deity, you offer me service, I will take it. You offer me food, I will eat it and give back prasadam. You glorify me, I will hear. You chant my name, I will hear. So actually this is called avatara, archa avatara. Deity means archa avatara. Krishna came 5000 years back, that is another type of avatara. Archa avatara is in Archa Vigraha. In Archa Vigraha, he comes down on the call of the Acharya. The person should call. Again, it comes to the same thing. You need to have that connection.
Right.
If you vibrate in that connection and also follow the discipline, then you will see he will come and then he will receive it. So the person is living with you. This is out of love. He lives with you. You want to worship him, he lives with you.
So the Lord, in response to the devotion, comes in a certain form, lives with you.
Lives with you.
And so, can this be done in different forms by different devotees? Because you have different forms right here in the temple.
Right, right.
Same Lord.
Yes.
So there is a protocol for bringing the Lord in particular form and another one in bringing the Lord.
There is a protocol. That forms are described
right.
in the Shastras.
Right.
I cannot imagine anything. That's paganism. You can just imagine one form and say that is God. The Lord has also described, I will come. See, Krishna is described in particular.
So there are certain templates or certain forms that are there.
Yes.
These are the true forms.
Yeah.
So in one of those true forms, the Lord will come if you are performing the right protocol,
right.
the right worship,
devotion.
The right method, the right devotion, and you're qualified to do so, which means you cleanse yourself to that
right.
level.
Right.
And so it is not an arbitrary form that I just make up.
No, no, because it has to be. You see, just like Prabhupada gives another beautiful example about the deities. He says, you have a general post office. You can go and put your letter into the post box, into GPO. All over the city you have small post boxes. Now they are authorized post boxes. You put your letter, it will still go to the GPO. So in the same way, unlimited Archa Vigrahas are there. You offer your seva, it will go to the Lord.
But the fact that there are unlimited post boxes does not mean that everything is a post box.
Suppose somebody...
That's a very common confusion.
Yes. Suppose somebody creates another red box somewhere. Tomorrow outside my house I put one. The letters will not go.
Right.
So it needs to be
There's a common
authorized.
thing which says that the truth has innumerable forms, does not mean that all forms are true.
Exactly, exactly. They need to be authorized.
The fact that there are many paths to the same destination does not mean that all paths go to that destination.
Exactly, beautiful.
Many roads lead to the destination, but some roads are cul-de-sac, some go to the Dead Sea, some
Right.
go down a pit.
Right.
So there is a confusion.
In fact, that is what Prabhupada used to tell. See, Prabhupada told, see, you cannot say all path will lead to the same end. No, he says.
This is such a common confusion amongst
Yeah.
99% of our gurus.
Yes.
I have done so many interviews, now they don't want to do interviews with me.
Ah.
Because I'll ask them this question, that if the truth is one, there are so many forms, does it mean that everybody's claim is true? And they get confused.
It doesn't make sense.
They don't want to, they'll say, okay, it's lunch, it's dinner time, we go. Some very important interviews that you'll see on my YouTube where I'm sitting there, first of all, instead of a private session setting where there's a car cameras, because then the person will not know how to get out of it. They'll say, let's have these 5,000 people, we'll sit there and talk, because then the person can quickly declare a dinner break and say, let's get out of here. And I've had this happen so many times. This very simple logic question,
Yes.
our gurus are very confused about, many of them.
No, it's a fact. It's a fact that I would say that it is all influence of the West and Western interpretation. And the root cause of this is also another thing, is the impersonal, limiting themselves to the impersonal aspect of the absolute truth. See, the absolute truth is also impersonal. There is personal and his energy is impersonal.
Right.
So,
But the impersonal is not the highest.
is not the highest. Just like if I punch somebody, you know, you will punish me, not my energy.
Yeah,
That
because
punch.
I can see as part of the personal, there is an impersonal subset or an aspect,
Definitely.
but not the other way around.
Not the other way around.
I cannot construct personhood out of impersonal things.
Exactly.
I cannot.
In fact, Vyasadeva, he says, the absolute truth, the learned transcendentalist say that the absolute truth is seen in three different levels. One is Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan. Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam et jnanam advayam. Advaya jnanam, they are all three are non-different. Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Bhagavan is Adipurusha, the original source. Paramatma is the immanent God in this material creation, Paramatma, the immanent God. And Brahman is the energy from which this material world has transformed into. So they are all one truth, Advaya Jnanam. But one is more complete than the other. Brahman realization is first realization that that apart from material energy there is a spiritual energy. That's Brahman. Then there is Paramatma realization. Is a localized, the Lord is all pervading in a person, as a person. That is the Paramatma realization. And then finally everything is coming from Bhagavan. Bhagavan is like in the spiritual world, is the transcendental aspect of God, the immanent aspect of God and transcendental aspect of God. So there are three aspects of realization.
Beautiful.
So if somebody simply states that absolute truth is Brahman, no form, no name, no individuality, ultimately they say there is no God also.
Right.
God also is only for, because the moment you say you and God, then there do ho gaya.
Right.
So that means, you know, ultimately there is no God also, you also. There is no God also, you also, you need not feel offended, because they are not saying there is no God, there is no you. They are saying that there is no identity at all.
Right. There is no selfhood.
There is no
ultimate self.
selfhood. Yes.
There is no ultimate self.
Yes. Whereas the philosophy of Bhagavatam is there is an absolute selfhood for every jiva.
So there is an ultimate self.
Yes.
Then there is a manifested, immanent self.
Yes.
In form, in a context. And then there is the energies, material existence,
Yes.
which also has levels beyond the visual, beyond the what we can see.
Yes, yes.
So even that has higher, but that's not personhood.
That's not possible.
Yes. And that is the domain to which science is limited.
Highly limited. By
Yes.
definition,
Right.
they are limiting themselves.
Right.
You see, for instance, if you take one example of modern science, I'll tell you. Modern science, the modern physics, till Einstein's time was not an ontological reality. Time was simply a way of representing events and way of understanding. So it was simply a knowledge item, you know, how to study motion, so time came into my mind. They never ever imagined that time is an ontological reality. It's a reality like length, breadth and height. It's another dimension. This is given in our Shastras, right? Kala is an energy of the Lord. It's an energy, it's not in your head, it's a reality, Kala. And Einstein's theory of relativity, you know, it came out with this. How did that come out with Kala? How did he come out with Kala? Because of the discipline, it came from mathematics. It didn't come from experiment first. Just see, ultimately Buddhi was used as an instrument.
Yes.
It vibrated in a particular frequency. He must have done tapasya, meditating on this problem, and then it resulted in, you know, in the mathematical equation it came out. Yes, it is another dimension. Newton thought the entire world is a static stage, but it overturned the entire science. Overturned the entire science. So there are so many things that the science do not know. This is one example where Buddhi is also used. Today most of the findings of modern physics are coming from mathematics. It is not from the gross experiment. Many of the things that mathematics have come to conclusion, they are not able to find appropriate experiments because they are so subtle, so deep inside they have to go. So they spend billions and billions to create this, you know, particle accelerator and all those things. Whereas our rishis could, you know, just go vibrate in the right frequency and get all the truth out. Shabarimala, the Supreme Court has said that, you know, respecting gender equality, unidirectional thinking, they said that everybody should be allowed. If they really know the reality is Ayyappa is a deity, is a personality. He wishes something. Personality means he has wish.
And he was requested to come with that
Yes.
condition.
Yes.
That we will respect his wish.
His wishes. Now, if the Supreme Court says that no, you don't have to, you know, you just gender equality, means they are thinking he is just a stone.
Right.
It's very wrong.
Right.
So it is just your imagination. So what is your problem? They say.
So I want to ask here that when the right procedure is used to invite the Lord as a deity, and then as per the prescription, as per the protocols, we supply the certain food, the deity is a living person, we do seva. Now, is there an amendment to that possible? Can future generations say we'd like to request the deity to change the deed?
With his permission, it can be done.
Yes.
Right? With his permission. But then who can get his permission?
So not the Supreme Court.
Not the Supreme Court.
That's good. Because they are not the acharyas.
In fact,
they are not at that frequency.
There is exactly. There is actually a procedure for knowing the mind of the deity.
Please explain that.
It is called Deva Prashna.
Okay. Deva Prashna.
Deva Prashna.
Okay, good.
You know, it's one branch of astrology.
So you ask a question.
You ask a question, and when the first question is put by the Tantri is a chief priest. That is taken as the birth time of that question, and the rest of the things are like exactly like astrology. They invoke whatever is required that spirituality or that fine subtle vibration that is required. With that, if Deva Prashna, if somebody does that Deva Prashna, there are experts who do Deva Prashna. Every astrologer cannot do Deva Prashna. And there you will indicate, almost all temples in Kerala, they do that. Whenever there is a problem in the temple, they try to understand the mind of the deity.
And the deity will give its answer in what form? In what way?
The deity will give its answer in the form of,
some physical thing.
Physical thing. You see, just like in a natal chart,
yes,
there is a reading.
Right.
So this combines with this, it's favorable, not favorable. There's a science behind that.
Right.
It's a symbol through which, astrology is a symbol through which, destiny communicates.
So, in the defense of the temple, did the priests there say, we are going to do this Deva Prashna?
They have done.
And we will tell the court what the answer is.
They have done, and they said this should not be done.
They said that.
Yes.
So now the court is faced with a dilemma that by asserting its own right, jurisdiction, they are basically saying we are not accepting the legitimacy of the Deva Prashna tradition, and in doing so they are interfering with the Hindu thought and Hindu religion, which means they are violating the freedom of religion of the Hindus. That's a very important big deal.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like saying to a Christian that I do not accept that you could be virgin birth son of God. I mean, who are they?
Yeah.
That is you violating the tradition. Right. So same way, if the tradition says that the Deva Prashna is the methodology of finding out what this Supreme Person wants, and we've carried out and the Supreme Person doesn't want what you like, then to overrule it is a violation of religious freedom.
Definitely. See, simple thing. Can the Supreme Court, if outside my house I put a board, no women between this age and that age can come inside. Somebody goes to the Supreme Court and says gender equality.
It's your private home.
My private home, my wish.
Yeah, I mean, when you
who should come inside, who should not come inside.
If you have a party, if you have a wedding somewhere, you have a guest list. You decide who's guest and who's not guest.
That's all.
I cannot just gate crash and say I have a freedom right and all that.
All this problem stems from thinking that it's simply a stone, the deity.
And I also think there's a fallacy in this argument that when the state gives money, then it becomes state law to decide how it will run the show. Because actually the state is not giving any money, the state is paying rent for the land it confiscated.
Right.
But long ago, the lands of the temple under the British were taken by the state, and it was agreed that they'll give so many lakhs a year as compensation. So it's like when you want to build a highway, you take the villagers' land and you pay them some money. You can't say we're giving you a favor, we're giving you a donation or a grant. You're paying them for, actually the amount of money they're paying is some lakhs. Whereas the current value of that property is in thousands of crores.
Right.
So they've taken a huge amount of wealth from the temple, paying a tiny amount of rent for it, and have the audacity to say we are actually giving you funding.
No, it is totally unfair for the tradition.
Right.
No respect for the tradition, as if tradition doesn't exist. It's all in people's mind.
So this business of secularism doesn't work in our tradition, because secularism is an output of European religious conflicts, and it was developed to keep the religions, the Christianity, from too much interference with affairs of other people, because there was intolerance, they didn't respect other deities and other things. So secularism was good solution for Europe, and to import it into India is actually quite a disaster, because our tradition doesn't have the same problems.
They have their own inherent, intrinsic characters which has to be respected.
Right.
You can, with one deity, what you can do, you cannot do with another deity.
Right.
With another deity, you cannot do.
So so the key thing that the secular thinkers, court included, have not understood is that the one supreme manifests as an infinite variety of personalities and deities, each prescribed, each with a certain profile, each with a certain desire, and our rasa, our procedure, our protocol, our agama has to be very appropriate for that.
Right.
And therefore, just because one infinite manifests in innumerable forms does not mean any arbitrary form is valid.
Right.